Should it's really quiet. Good morning. Where we are gathered both virtually and in person as one connected community, I am Amelia Kinnan and my pronouns are she, they. I'll be your worship leader for this morning's service, and I'm joined by Eva Leventer, Jim Moore, Brian Partham, and Julie Bodson. If you are a visitor online and would like Northwest to stay in touch with you, please fill out a visitor form appearing in the chat box. If you're with us in person, you can fill out the visitor sign-in form in the atrium. Please greet your neighbors with a wave from wherever you are. Hello. Okay.
Good morning. I am Mullah Nasruddin, also known as Jim Moyer. This is the story that I'll be doing later. So we have a few announcements to share with you. You'll find more information about Northwest and its events in the weekly newsletter and on our website. First off, the rummage sale. The hard-working rummage team, under the excellent direction of Sally Young, raised over $4,700 at the rummage sale this weekend. I'm always astonished by how much money we make on those things. It's really amazing. Sally is so grateful to everyone who donated goods, prepped the goods, and sold the goods. Sally is especially grateful to Barbara Carney for moving tables and boxes and furniture. She also wants to thank Bob and Martha for sponsoring a sale at their house. Thank you to Beata for helping and partnering all year long. Gratitude to everyone. And now, official business. Our next congregational meeting will take place on Sunday, June 2nd at noon. Only members may vote, but all are welcome to attend. This is the meeting when we will pass a budget for the fiscal year that starts July 1. The meeting call has been sent electronically and by U.S. mail to those who prefer that. Last and ginormous, our summer worship schedule. When our combined First Church Northwest worship teams met to plan the summer services 2 weeks ago, we decided to delve deeper into our shared ministry experiment. From the first Sunday in July until water communion on the second Sunday in September, we will plan all joint services, alternating between First Detroit and Northwest. Well, why did we make that decision? The biggest reason is that attendance is lower in the summer than in the church program year. From a worship perspective, that means fewer volunteers are available to do all the tasks associated with Sunday morning. Combining services during these low attendance weeks takes the pressure off those who are recruiting volunteers, creates a critical mass for youth programming, and saves money by reducing the amount we spend on guest speakers. Some of us have attended UU churches so long that we remember when our churches were completely closed for summer, a legacy from our Universalist ancestors who were too busy working on their farms to attend church in the summer. Yeah, I'm old enough to remember that. So when fall comes, we'll check in to see how well this experiment worked for our congregants. We hope that the summer will be restorative and allow us to all stay connected. We will also have 2 joint services in May and June. Each week, we will announce where the next service will take place. Next week, there will be a Zoom-only service due to the holiday weekend. Neither church will be open. We will use the Northwest login information. So now, before we begin the prelude, let's all take a deep breath and settle in for a time of worship.
Hello. I was told that this service is about gratitude, and I noticed that the theme is partially that it takes a village. So this particular song, I think, is very befitting of that particular subject. It's called "You've Got a Friend in Me." You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road is rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, just remember what your old pal said, 'cause you got a friend in me. I say, you got a friend in me. Now you got a friend in me. Yes, you got a friend in me. Well, you got troubles, well, I've got 'em too. There ain't nothing that I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can see it through, because you got a friend in me. I say, you got a friend in me. Now, some people might be a little bit smarter, bigger and stronger too, but they would never, ever love you the way I do. It's just me and you. So as the years go by, our love will never die. And you will see that it's your destiny. Oh yeah. 'Cause you got a friend in me. I say, you got a friend in me. One more time. You got a friend in me. Thank you.
As we kindle this flame, may our hearts be open to everything inside us, between us, and all around us that help us live more fully.
Each week, we offer a land acknowledgement. We honor and pay our respects to the land on which we live and work, which was violently stolen through colonialism, genocide, and forced removal of its traditional stewards. These stewards are the Anishinaabeg, the Council of Three Fires, which include the Ottawa, the Ojibwe, and the Potawatomi, also known as the Ottawa, the Chippewa, and the Potawatomi tribes. We also acknowledge the people of African descent who were forcibly removed from their land and separated from their families through kidnapping and enslavement, and we pay reverence and respect to them for building the country's infrastructure and economy with no compensations or reparations to date. Now, if you may rise in spirit and join me in singing, "I Am a Bright Light."
Testing, testing. Okay. So you don't know this one. Well, maybe you do, but I'm going to teach it to you. And before that, I need some kids because I set some drums up over here, and I'm hoping that little ones, and if they're not interested, then young at heart folks will come up and sit behind a drum. Go ahead, guys. Except for that one. All right. So this is one of those call and response type deals where, sorry, Steve, where there's lots of action. Where I say a line and then you say a line. I sing a line, you sing a line. And you sing it just like I do, but probably better in quality. All right. Before we get there, though, we need to get used to our drums. There are a couple drums over there. You want to go get one? Okay, cool. Yeah. So, wow, I've never had a group just not try out the drums right away. Mag, you still count as a youth for like a few more days. Okay. So we need to get a beat going, guys. That is a complicated beat. We're gonna get like a really simple beat going. Let's do it like this. Oh, they're like professionals over here. Okay, now, I wanna see how loud we can get. Do it as loud as, but you still gotta stay together. That's the key. Okay, now, let's see how quiet you can get and still stay together. You really gotta listen to each other. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Okay, now bring it up to like medium, whatever you think that might be. All right. And that's where we're gonna hang out. Okay, and the rest of you, just I sing, then you sing. You got it. I am a bright light. I am a bright light. I'm a bright light. Perfect just the way I am. I am a bright light. I am a bright light. I'm a bright light. Perfect just the way I am. I am a bright light. I am a bright light. I'm a bright light. Perfect just the way I am. Perfect just the way I am. Perfect just the way I am. Thank you.
Could I have, you guys can come sit right here for the story. You guys can come sit right here for the story. Come sit up front. Do you want to come sit up front for the story? No? Okay. All right. This is on. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We have a Wonder Box / gift box that we're going to open up and to see what's inside of it. So I'm wondering if, Jake, will you help us with that? Will you help us with that? Okay. Why don't you pull out what's inside this gift box? This is going to introduce what we're doing today. What is it? Open it up. Is that upside down? Okay, hold it up so everybody can see. This is what? A welcome mat. What does it say? Bienvenue. Bienvenue. All right, let's put it down here. Why did I bring a welcome mat today?
Tell us.
Well, we're talking about pluralism, and pluralism is when we have acceptance and welcome to people of different faith backgrounds. And so that's why I brought a welcome mat, so that we could welcome people from different faiths and different cultures and different backgrounds. So that's why I brought this welcome mat. And now Jim is going to tell us a great story about Nasruddin.
As we explore the importance of inclusion and making sure no one is left out, I want us to begin by listening to a wonderful, funny, and wise tale that has been adapted from a Middle Eastern Islamic folk tale. It's called Mullah Nasruddin Feeds His Coat. This folk tale they're not sure exactly where it started, but it's been attributed to Turkey or Syria. And I am Mullah Nasruddin as well as telling you the story. I got a name tag to prove it. Mullah Nasruddin had been working in the fields all day long. He was tired and sweaty, and his clothes and shoes were covered with mud and stains. Because he had been fasting all day long for Ramadan, he was also quite hungry. But finally, it was almost sundown, and Nasruddin knew that he would be able to eat. The wealthiest man in town had invited everyone to come break their fasts in his home that evening with a huge feast. Nasruddin knew that he would be late if he went home to change his clothes before heading into town. He decided it was better to arrive in dirty clothes than to be late. Oh, what a party it would be. What a feast. As he walked to the wealthy man's home, Nasruddin imagined the delicious foods that he soon would be eating. Dates, lentils and chickpeas, olives and bread, hummus, falafel, chicken and beef, and best of all, the desserts, halva, date rolls, figs, and baklava. When Nasruddin arrived, the wealthy man opened the door and looked Nasruddin up and down. Scornfully, from his worn, ragged clothes down to his muddy shoes. Without a word of welcome, he gestured for Nasruddin to come in and walked abruptly away. So I wonder what this guy was thinking about when Nasruddin showed up all dirty and stuff. He seemed to be not too welcoming. Let's hear what happens next. So Nasruddin joined the throngs of people who were all dressed in their finest clothing. The tables were laden with all sorts of delicious foods, dates, lentils, chickpeas, olives and bread, hummus, falafel, chicken and beef, and best of all, the desserts, halva, date rolls, figs, and baklava. Despite his efforts to hurry, the seats were all taken, and nobody tried to move over or make a place for Nasruddin. In fact, nobody offered him any food. He had to reach over and around people to get any food on his plate. Nobody spoke to him. It was as if he was not even there. I wonder how Nasruddin was feeling about that. Not very welcome, huh? Yeah. The other guests ignored him so completely that Nasruddin could not enjoy the food on his plate, no matter how finely prepared and how tasty it was. In fact, after only a few bites, Nasruddin was so uncomfortable that he decided to leave. He hurried home and changed into his finest clothing, including a beautiful coat. Nasruddin returned to the feast, and this time the host welcomed him with a huge smile. Come in, he said. As Nasruddin entered, people waved and called to him from all corners of the room as they invited him to sit near them and offered him food. I wonder what the guests were thinking now. I wonder what Nasruddin was feeling. Nasruddin sat down quietly. Picking up a plump tomato, he carefully placed it in his coat pocket. Eat, coat, eat. Next, he took out a dessert, and he put it in his coat, and he said, "Eat, coat, eat." And then he began grabbing other kinds of food and putting them all into his coat. Oh my goodness. He's just going to town here. Oh, here's some of that pita bread. That's really good with the hummus on it. Yeah, eat, coat, eat, coat. He's putting everything in there. Into the coat went the lentils and chickpeas, olives and bread, falafel, chicken and beef, and best of all, the desserts, halva, date rolls, figs, and baklava. Nasruddin became silent as they, Nasruddin became silent as they watched this strange behavior. Soon, everyone in the room was staring at Nasruddin, wondering what he was doing. The host hurried over. Nasruddin, whatever are you doing? Why are you feeding your coat in this manner? Well, when I first came to this feast in my old farming clothes, I was not welcome. No one would speak with me. But when I changed into this coat, suddenly I was greeted warmly. So I realized it's not me that was welcome at this party, but my clothing. And so I'm feeding my coat. And that ends our story, but we have some questions for you.
So if you have an answer, raise your hand. Jim has some questions for you about this story. Here, there. Okay.
So this is a real tough one. What did you like most about the story?
I liked him feeding his coat.
And what do you think we're supposed to remember from this story? I believe that's the opposite of what we're supposed to remember. Clothes do not a person make. Yeah.
To be welcoming and inviting and gracious with people that look differently.
What's some other things we could do to make people feel welcomed?
What you just said.
I don't know. What did you just say?
Oh, to be gracious and, what else can we do? Invite other people who look different than us.
Look them in the eye, talk to them.
Treat them the same as everyone else.
Yeah, you know, when you're a new person at church, one of the questions people have when they're going to visit a church, they never know what they're supposed to wear. You know, that happened to me. You know, you want to try to look on the website and see if you can tell what people are wearing. I showed up at Lansing Church one time as a guest, and I had a jacket and tie on, and everybody was in t-shirts and flip-flops and stuff. I felt really out of place. So, yeah, so it's important to welcome people no matter how they dress, no matter if they look like they're rich or poor or whatever.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, so one purpose of a religious community is to encourage all who gather together to grow more generous in spirit and action. This is the great end of all the world's faith traditions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. We now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will mutually support this self-supporting congregation and the shared plate recipient. Every other month throughout the year, Northwest shares 50% of the plate collections with the Southfield Emergency Needs Fund. This program of the City of Southfield's Community Relations Department helps residents overcome personal hurdles so they can achieve a satisfying and productive quality of life. All undesignated donations will be split between the Southfield Emergency Needs Fund and our congregation. You can give in a variety of ways that are now visible on your screen. For those here in person, we will pass a collection basket for checks and cash. We honor your generosity by committing to ensure that our collective resources do a greater good for ourselves and our world than any could have done individually.
Good morning. My name is Mary Mueller, and I'm a member of the Pastoral Care Team. I want to remind you that anyone needing the support of our community can reach out to our Minister of Pastoral Care, Reverend Teresa Rolk, in the weekly drop-in Zoom room or in one-on-one appointments by emailing pastoralcare@northwestuu.org. For the next few months, the collective cares of our community will be recorded in our Book of Joys and Sorrows, which will remain on the red cabinet near the name tags. I will read the joys and sorrows written in the book today. When I announce your name, raise your hand, and note that we will have a virtual form available soon for those attending on Zoom. Nancy Landon and Jan Berger-Cohn both reported that Ardasha Antares is in Cleveland Clinic in the ICU, awaiting open heart surgery for a heart pump or possibly a new heart at the end of next week. She would love calls, texts, and cards, even a visit. And her address and phone number are on here, and I'll leave it open in the lobby after the service. If anybody wants to join Amanda for a visit, see her after the service. Jan Berger-Cohn joined Sally Young in thanking so many people who helped with the rummage, especially Sally and Dave Young, Martha Spear and Bob Holly, and all who went the extra mile, especially while Ben was away. Ariana Abel was pleasantly surprised that for the first time ever, her nephew called her just to say hi. His medication must be working because he seems to be doing really well, and he actually wants to get a job, but he doesn't have a car. Perhaps someday he can work with his dad. She was pleased he said he'd call her again. Ariana is also excited that the city of Dexter, Michigan, has asked her to sing the national anthem after the parade on Memorial Day. Yeah. Sharia Robinson Lane is joining the 2% of Black women who have tenure at the U.S. universities. She was just promoted to associate professor with tenure, which means she has a permanent position at the university. Congratulations. And Oliver Kinnan, via his mother, got his first job this week teaching 2 younger kids piano over the summer. And finally, Colleen and I did it. We moved to Farmington Hills, happened yesterday, and the new house is slowly getting settled. For these joys and sorrows that are held in those joys and sorrows that are held in the silent sanctuary of our hearts, and the ones that we spoke today, I offer this prayer. Sources of radiance and resilience, keep watch with those who work, watch, or weep this night. May the suffering be soothed, may the sick be tended, may the weary find rest. May the dying and those who love them find peace. May the joyous be shielded. And may all know that we are surrounded in a love that is with us always, a web that connects us to all that exists. Let us take a few moments of silence to be with each other in this sacred space. We will come out singing number 123, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come
Okay, I would like to call the children up to the front here. Miss Eva and I would like your help in passing out some gifts of gratitude. Lucy, you want to come? Does JoJo want to come? Okay, so it takes a village. This year, as in many years, many Northwest UU congregants gave their time and their talents to teaching and or supporting our youth. Almost every Sunday, you provide a great service to Northwest families by watching our kids and demonstrating our UU values. We are grateful for your efforts. I would like to recognize each teacher, child caregiver, youth programs committee member, and staff member. When I read your name, please stand up, and one of the kids will bring you a small token of appreciation. First, teachers and child caregivers, Mary Mueller. Jason Lane, who is actually also on the Youth Programs Committee. Okay. Gordon Crothamer, who is also on the Youth Programs Committee. Kelly McInerney. Okay. Amanda Spurrell. Alex Rowan. Joan Williams. Margaret Black. Sue Sobosienski. Julie Bodson. Jason Bodson. Tom Ott. Amy Vanson. Linda Gobeski. Jim Moyer, who's also on our Youth Programs Committee. Trina Toko. Julie Stitt. Sharon Sutliff. Jan Price. Izzy Foltz. Meg Variest. Awesome. Tamer Malone. Tamer Malone? No? Okay. Jim Gobeski. All right. Jan Berger Cohn. Barbara Stevenson, who is also on the Youth Programs Committee. And finally, Susie Kinnan, who helped update our webpage. Okay, thank you, kids. You can return to your seats now. So now I'm going to move on to the childcare staff. First, Jill Border, who's also on the Youth Programs Committee. Next is James Hager Henry. And then we also have Amelia Kinnan, who's our newest member of the Youth Programs Committee. All right. And then last but not least, we are grateful for the leadership of Eva Leventer, our Director of Religious Education. She has guided us and implemented us in our programming this year. For that, we are very, very grateful.
Thank you.
Very good. Just one note too, we have cake afterwards for coffee hour. So please join us for cake later. Thanks.
I would like to thank Jill Border, actually, with a plant that I have for Jill. Hannah, can you give this to Jill? And I have some words for everyone in a minute, but this is for Brian Partham for being a board chair this year. Here you go, Brian. Thank you. And this is Greetings, everyone. Thank you for coming to this religious education service today. We are grateful for our children here who have given us purpose and bring life to the congregation. We are grateful for our teachers and caregivers who have spent some time working creatively with our children. We are thankful for our Youth Programs Committee and Minister who have worked on developing programs, parties, classes for our children, and we are thankful for our parents and congregants who are here to appreciate all the hard work that has gone into the RE programs. We are here to do three things today. Recognize the efforts of our staff and volunteers, appreciate our children who inspire us, and understand the value of teaching and volunteering in religious education. Let's start by recognizing some efforts of our staff and volunteers. This year, Jim Moyer and Linda Gobetsky, with the help of some others, have offered an OWL program to our 4th through 6th graders. The children and their families greatly appreciate your weekly efforts. This past summer, we had a peace camp with 3 other UU churches, and Sue Jobasinski headed up the shopping and cooking for the camp, and Amanda Sparrell helped plan and worked the entire camp. And many volunteers pitched in to help. Thank you. Amelia Kinnan has volunteered to teach role-play games with our upper elementary and middle school children, and she has worked with Jason Botson every other week to lead kids on bikes and Whiz Corp games, and now she is on the Youth Programs Committee. James Hager Henry worked every week helping the middle and upper elementary children, and as a paraprofessional support. We are extremely grateful for the fun and caring engagement you do with the children. And there are gift cards for both Amelia and James in their envelopes, so hopefully they're in there. If they're not, let me know. Jill Border and Sharon Sutliff have worked hard to bring the nursery through kindergarten children activities, creative play opportunities each week. We had a lot of caregivers that helped as well. So thank you, Jill and Sharon Sutliff. And Brian Partham has been so helpful as committee chair for Northwest UU. He has helped with meetings, events, documents for the RE program. Thank you, Brian. We have observed growth in the church this year. In the fall, we gained 4 new families and 11 new children. Our parents have appreciated the multi-age Sunday morning programs. We grew to 3 classrooms this year and an OWL program as well. In the fall, we were averaging 20 to 25 kids, and in the spring, a little less. We had many activity offerings such as apple picking, Kensington trip, holiday party, pageant, service projects, canvas carnival, and much more. Having an engaging minister has really helped grow our programs and church attendance. And has given me more support and collaboration in my job. Let me tell you how exciting it has been to welcome new families and see old families returning. I am thrilled that the congregants and the church love and accept children for who they are. We let them roam around the building. We let them eat as much as they want at coffee hour. And we participate in any way that they can during services, in the way that they want to show up. Let me challenge you to spend more time asking them questions, getting to know them, even pick a few children that you check in with each week. It means a lot to them and to the parents. Forming relationships is key to a thriving church community. Our children are our future, and we need to give them a foundation of support and love. We need to be curious about their lives and appreciate them as much as possible. Letting them take ownership of the space is one way we show them that they belong here. Finally, I would like to offer a word on teaching and volunteering of our children. Our teachers are invaluable to us. When you're a teacher and a caregiver, you are doing the whole congregation a service. You are getting a chance to be creative, play, and learn alongside the children. It is a chance to exercise your passions too. We've had teachers that offer skills like gardening, cooking, woodworking, and teaching gives us an opportunity to form stronger relationships and make lifelong impressions on the children. Whether it's frequent or from time to time, join our teaching team and caregiving team. We will help integrate your skills and passions into our program. Thank you to all the volunteers, future volunteers, and those of you who have little time but would like to help out just a little. You know you are to find me. It takes a village. Thank you. So now, join me in singing our hymn, "This Little Light of Mine."
Thanks, Mark. It's a big decision. It's got to be just the right fit. All right, you got what you want? Okay, play along in any way you like, and I will call out the words. We don't have them up there today. We'll start with "This Little Light of Mine." Oh, looky there, we do. All right, I'll pay attention then. Oh, all right. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. I wonder what's next. Oh, there it is. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine. Building up a world, I'm gonna let it shine.
building up a world. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
I like the shaky fruit, like, I was like a banana filled with rice or something. I think that's pretty
That
awesome.
should have been in my jacket.
That would have been pretty great. Okay. All right. We will now extinguish our chalice. Chalice. Please repeat after me. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of hope. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of hope. The warmth of community. The warmth of community. Or the fire of commitment. Or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
These we carry in our hearts till we are together again. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfaction. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. Plenty of sunshine heading my way. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. It's the truth, it's actual. Everything is satisfactual. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful day.
Let's have cake.